So whether you're going through burnout, chronic illness, or just a low period in your life, maybe these could help you too. I hope that this gives you permission to find a way to keep going, even when you don't feel like it. Hi, my name's Rebecca Victoria. I am a professional fine artist, and welcome to my studio. This is a 4-part series called the Artist Mindset series about motivation, mindset, and momentum. So today's episode is part 2. Check out last week's video in part 1 and then come back the next couple weeks for the other parts. Today I want to talk about how I stay inspired to create even when I don't have the energy. Some days my energy is really low, and some days my pain is really high, and these are the days that it is hardest to get into the studio for obvious reasons. On these days, making art really doesn't look like this magical, fun, super exciting thing to me. It feels like a bit of a chore. But even if the spark inside me is still there, I know I have to kind of drag myself up and get going, because those are the days where I find making art and doing creative things are the most important for me on my emotional level over my physical level. And they also tend to really fuel me in a way that isn't done through other things. They really tend to give me the energy I need to be a human being. They really push me along and help me to cultivate the energy I need for the rest of my day. And for that reason alone, I find creativity is so incredibly important for my life. So in this video, I wanted to share about how I create on days like those when I don't feel 100% and how I stay inspired to do so. These aren't necessarily hacks or hustle-based or driven. They're gentle, slow approaches which make a difference to my day, and I thought maybe they may make a difference to yours too. They're really just soft things that help me reconnect with me and my creativity. They honor who I really am at my core, and these gentle things may seem ridiculous to some. I don't know. They help me. So it's beneficial. So number 1 is sometimes I really need to let go of productive days and give myself permission just to create because I feel like it, and not have it be tied to a final piece or an outcome in the end. On low days, I really give myself the permission just not to finish things and not to have things as maybe resolved as I would like them to be. And instead, I tried to shift my mind from I have to make something good, I have to have something productive come out of this, to I just want to be around and near my creativity. I just want to be in that energy and in that headspace. So sometimes it might just be mixing a bunch of colors up and putting them in containers or leaving them on my palette. I have one of the closed seal palettes. It's almost like a Tupperware container of palettes. And I could just mix colors and have them ready on my palette for when I'm going to paint the next time. Or another thing I could do is flip through old sketchbooks. That can be a little bit motivating. Sometimes I read through my old journals from my university classes, and I find that it just helps me feel like I'm around creativity as much as anything, rather than having to be actually creative. It can just help me be in that creative headspace. I can also meditate. Sometimes I find meditation really helpful because I can meditate on being creative, and in my mind I'm creative while I'm not physically creative. So there was this study ran for exercise, and it measured I might be butchering this, I should probably look it up before I say it, but it measured like a certain group of people who went for a run, say, might have been something else, and then other people who just went for a run in their mind, and the benefits were better for the people who actually went on the run. However, the people who just went for a run in their mind still showed benefits. Their bodies and their muscles had still worked harder than when they did nothing. So for me, I take that away as even if I'm creating in my mind, if I'm, say, sitting at the easel and doing a painting in my mind, or sometimes in my meditations, I like to have my easel outdoors and play it on Play Now, which I don't do a lot in real life. And I feel like there's so many benefits from that. I feel like I still get a bit of the nature feeling. I still get the painting and the creative feeling. So this could be really beneficial without you having to physically leave your bed. So another thing that I've done is just creating this like soft creative ritual, I guess. These are the ways that I can kind of like signify to my body that I'm intentionally going to try and be a little bit creative that day, and to tell my body that it's okay to just slow down and just enjoy this and create and not feel like it has to be tied to the outcomes. Some ways that I like to do that is by lighting a candle. Do you know what would be really cool if I had a paint-scented candle? Maybe the scent of the paint would help me get into the feeling. That's kind of funny. Anyway, I have a paint playlist in my phone. So playing that playlist when I am thinking about being creative to help me get into the right mood set, and making a cup of tea and just bringing it down to the studio and just sitting in the studio and drinking a cup of tea and just thinking, like looking at my paintings, even that can be enough to help me to really slowly get into the creative mindset. These gentle cues can really help to ease me into the studio and ease me into that creative mindset. And it's a way of kind of lifting the fog in a very light but intentional way. I have one other way that I get myself into the creative mindset, and that is by shifting my definition of creating per se. So it doesn't always have to be a painting. It could be creating some food because you need to eat. It could be doing some writing, could be doing a little poem in your phone. It could be arranging objects in color or doing like a little floral arrangement. There are so many different ways to be creative that you just have to be creative in the way you're being creative. And sometimes that's enough to get your little creative bone going. Sitting in nature and just soaking in and looking at what you're seeing, not scrolling, not doing anything on your phone, just sitting or listening to the birds and just really being present. Creation is all around us. As human beings, we are hugely creative, but we're also, everything that we consume and do is created. And then also the same goes for nature. There is so much different creativity to what we live in our lives. So it's nice to kind of juxtapose the human creation with the nature creation. And I find them sometimes a bit jarring, but it can be helpful to get me to feel in a more creative mindset. If you've been beating yourself up lately or feeling guilty for needing to rest and you're just not feeling like it, you are not failing. Just be kinder to yourself. Give yourself grace. Give yourself permission to take time. Your creativity will still be there whenever you are ready for it. It'll be waiting patiently. It'll be there with open arms. And it'll meet you exactly where you are. So let me know in the comments if this has resonated with you, if you found any of these useful. I would love to hear about that. And I'm wondering if there's any other creative rituals that you might do on your low energy days that might help you and might also help me too. And if this video felt like a really soft little permission slip, please subscribe and follow along to more. I share gentle encouragement for creativity for artists just like this, and we would love to have you as part of our community. So just keep listening to your body, keep trusting your intuition and your creative spark, and try not to push or force anything. You shouldn't have to force inspiration. It should be there waiting for you when you're ready for it. I hope that you have a little time in your day to be creative, whether it's on paper, with flowers, with baking, in your mind. I hope that you can find some time to be creative because it could be very beneficial for you as it is for me. I'm sending you so much love. Bye. Bye.